Hello, everybody. Paul Alster here at Sportsbet TV and recording this message for you Friday evening, the 24th of November, and looking ahead to the racing that's scheduled not only on Saturday but also on Sunday. I've got one recommendation for each of the 2 days this weekend. If you happen to be finding the channel for the very first time, just press the subscribe button below this screen. It's free to join, and then you'll get a little message, or there'll be a light um, on the symbol that will indicate that there's more free tips available whenever you want them. Well, last week, Chantry House shaped well, despite looking as though the run would bring him on a ton when he finished third at Cheltenham in a handicap hurdle for us. So that was a bit of the each way money. Unfortunately, rocked my way, ran well for a long way actually, but just got tired in the closing stages and finished out of the frame. So it was a bit of a mixed bag last week. This week, well, the jumps action is held back, in my view, by the small fields. Not just in my view, it's a big talking point, as I'm sure anybody that follows the game knows. Majority of the races getting smaller fields than has been the case in the past, and that makes the opportunities for betting each way at decent prices more limited. Uh, Over at Out in Front, which is my subscription service, I would say though there are three selections and they're all very good prices. For Saturday, there'll also be more selections for Sunday. We're going really well there with a profit of £243 to level stakes so far during the month of November at Out in Front. So have a good look by clicking the description in the box below, and then you'll be able to consider whether or not you want to join us. It's a shame to miss out because things in general are going really well. Well, the two free selections I have for you here at Sportsbet this time around, one on Saturday at Haydock, the other one on Sunday at Exeter. I'll take you straight to the first of them. Saturday at Haydock, the 3:35 race, the last race of the day, a 3.25 mile handicap chase. The going is soft, good to soft in places, 11 run. Now, in this race, steadily progressive through the second half of the season, last season, winning two races over 3 miles at Wetherby in handicap chases with the Nicky Richards trained famous bridge. And it's already made a good start to this season when a very, very close fourth, beaten less than a length in a blanket finish over 2.5 miles a day 3 weeks ago. So should now be fully wound up. This one is the clear early favourite at 3-1. It's going up in trip, but it shouldn't be a problem, I don't think. The yard absolutely flying, the Cumbrian yard of Nicky Richards, and in particularly over fences. They've got a remarkable 39% winning strike rate this season with their chasers. Now, although the race somewhat fell apart, there was plenty to like about the way that Credo, the mare trained by Anthony Hannibal, won at Wincanton on her seasonal return 4 weeks ago. She's gone up £7 for that, and this is better company, no doubt about it, but I think there'll be another bold show from her, while Doc Picked Me for Richard Hobson was making his first start for that stable and his first run of the season when he was only just beaten on the bob in a driving finish at Warwick 17 days ago. And I think despite a £3 rise in the weights for coming second, he could well get involved, assuming that he has recovered from that hard race, which was his first over fences for 18 months. So you're always a bit wary of that bounce situation that happens to horses having two quick races after a long absence. Venetia Williams, trainer in terrific form. She's got a mare called Eleanor Bob, who won a couple of mares novice handicap chases in the winter of 2022. Been off for nearly 21 months since taking a tumble at Fontwell. So I think he'll do well to win this better race despite the stable form, but you just can't completely rule out anything of Venetia's at the moment. And Haute Estime for Lucinda Russell, another top lady jumps trainer, already had a run this term and ran well for a long way in a good race at Carlisle before getting tired. This Haute Estime has won at this track over hurdles, so that's a positive, and she does stay, so she's not at all without a chance. But my choice here in this finale at Haydock on Saturday is a horse who, although he is 0 from 13 over fences, so a maiden over fences, those bad figures don't tell the story for the Evan Williams trained Coconut Splash, trained by Evan Williams, the Mount of Adam Wedge, and I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see this one outrun his odds tomorrow afternoon. Now, beaten only 3 lengths by the high-class dual Grade 1 winner over fences, Chantry House, in a Weatherby novice chase a couple of years ago. He's also run other good races in defeat, including against another Nicky Henderson trained horse who's a bit useful called City Chief. He was second to that one in a Hereford novice chase and gave him a race. That was back in January. He was also well in touch, although at the back of the pack, but still going very nicely in a hot 3 mile handicap chase at the Aintree Festival when he was brought down by a horse that fell right in front of him. He had nowhere to go, and that was 6 out at Aintree in April. And then after that, he was eventually roughed off for the summer, and he reappeared at Wincanton in the race won by the mare Credo. Now, when they went over the second last, you could barely see Coconut Splash. He was a long way behind, and it wouldn't have surprised to see him being pulled up. But in the end, he's absolutely taken off in the closing stages, got a second wind, and flew home to finish third. Really going on at the finish as well. And it's a bit of a Brucey bonus that he's been dropped £2 since then. Now, last October, Coconut Splash was a close third in a listed handicap chase over a trip far too short for him of 2 miles, 3 furlongs, and that was off 133. So off his current rating of 122, I think that he could go very well. He's racing left-handed, which I think suits him best. And I think this all could add up to a big run. The stable's been amongst the winners too. So at 12 to 1 each way for 4 places with many firms, Coconut Splash is my choice on Saturday in the 3:35. As I say, if you're looking for more tips to go at for Saturday, then there are 3 big prices, 2 of them 33 to 1 plus, out in front on the subscription service. So check the link below this screen. Taking you on to Sunday, where there's a good card at Exeter, and the 1:30 race is a 2 mile, 3 furlong novices handicap chase, 9 runners on good to soft ground. Now, what makes this race tricky is that a number of them are going chasing for the first time, while others are returning after a summer break. So, one, we don't know how good some of them are at jumping fences, and also we don't know quite how fit plenty of them are as well. But I do expect that the top weight Kilbeg King will have plenty of supporters. He ended last season with a terrific win at the Punchestown Festival, where he beat 24 rivals in a really hot handicap hurdle, and he did it in style. And I think he'll be better for his first run of the season and chasing debut at Warwick recently, where he was still in touch between the final 2 fences, then faded into third. He sets a good standard, but he has got plenty of weight, Kilbeg King. Now, Nicky Henderson, top trainer, of course, runs 2 horses in this. Issuing Authority won a bumper a couple of seasons ago and ran well without scoring in 4 attempts over hurdles last season, but wasn't disgraced. He's had a breathing operation and he's going to jump his first fences in public on Sunday. His stable companion is called Amron's Sage, and this one won a Ludlow 2 mile, 5 furlong novices handicap hurdle last spring and could be the type to do better over fences. And as we know, Nicky Henderson well capable of getting one ready first time out. So keep an eye on the market to see which of the pair is attracting the more support. That might give you a clue. Now, Gary Moore won the very first running of this race last year with Black Jerry, and this time he runs a horse called Jerash, a winner of a Plumpton 3 mile, 1 furlong handicap hurdle. But he didn't look a natural chaser on his debut recently at Fontwell. So I think there are question marks there about Jerash winning again for the Gary Moore stable. The trip looks sharp for him, and I think he does need to improve. But David Pipe has an interesting one called Bumpy Johnson, who was progressive last season in handicap hurdles over 2.5 miles, won twice at Fosslas, and he could do quite nicely over the bigger fences. His opening mark of 125 as well looks pretty fair. And then Emma Lavelle, having a good time of things of late. She's got Manor Bank, another 2 have won twice last season over hurdles and wasn't disgraced, finishing third on chasing debut over just 2 miles at Fosslas recently. Another to add into the equation and going to be better suited by this longer trip. But having said all of that, my choice is a horse called Morico de Vassy, a French-bred horse trained by Jane Williams and the mount of David Noonan. This was a really promising horse a couple of seasons ago. It won 3 of its first 4 completed starts for then-trainer Tom Simons, and it only failed by a length to win on its chasing bow when made favourite in a Weatherby Novices handicap chase over just 1 mile and 7 furlongs. In hindsight, that race, which at the time it might have seemed disappointing to get beaten, it was an absolutely wonderful effort because he was trying to give £7 to Not Long Till May, who went on to rattle up a sequence and ended by finishing second in the Grade 1 at the Cheltenham Festival, and has also finished second in the Big Paddy Power Gold Cup just last weekend. So he was trying to give £7 to that horse over a trip too short. So that was a brilliant effort. Now, he did, however, run less well on his two other chase starts last season, and then he joined the Jane Williams team. Now, often, as you know, a change of scenery with horses can bring about a change in fortunes, and I thought that there was quite a lot to like about the way he ran over hurdles on his first start this season in the Welsh Champion hurdle at Foslas, in which he was still with them going to 2 out, but then the combination of the lack of an outing and faster horses over a shorter trip short of his best took its toll. I think he's going to come on a ton for that run. Morico de Vassi, better for that. And if he runs anywhere near the form of that Weatherby race when he was second on his chasing bow, then he's chucked in here, I think. And he's off a mark of just 119, and that's a pretty low mark. Now, I was really surprised when I saw the early prices. The only firm going up are William Hill's, and bless them for doing that, because they've gone 16 to 1 each way. And for me, that's far too big. I think he's got a proper chance, Morico de Vassi, and 16 to 1 to me looks a tasty price, and I'll be taking a chance on him. It's up to you whether you want to do that or not. I wish you the very best of luck, whatever you do this weekend. Those are my 2 free selections, and I'll be back with more next weekend when, of course, there's more tremendous racing coming our way. Bye-bye for now.